What's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope you're all doing absolutely great. And today, as usual, we're gonna continue the book by Cicero on the ideal orator. It's gonna be the 92nd part of the second book. So let's get started. Finally, I lay claim to two tactics that seem extremely simple, since the more difficult ones are beyond my power. The first is that I sometimes make no response whatsoever to a troublesome, difficult argument or point. Perhaps someone will rightly laugh at me for that. After all, it is something anyone can do. But still, I'm now discussing my own ability, not that of others. And I confess that if something is pressing me with too much force, I tend to give ground in a way that does not suggest that I have thrown away my shield and I'm fleeing, or even that I am fleeing with my shield thrown over my back. In such cases, I tend to speak with a certain show and display, to and to retreat as if I'm fighting. And when I take up a position in my own stronghold, I give the impression that I have given ground not in order to flee from the enemy, but to occupy better ground. The other point is something against which I think an orator ought to guard himself with special care and foresight, and which usually causes me great concern. I always take pains not so much to help my cases as not to harm them. Not that we not that we shouldn't do our best in both respects, but still, it is more disgraceful for an orator to appear to have damaged his case than not to have helped it. But what is going on here with you too, Carolus? Do you perhaps scorn what I'm saying, as it indeed ought to be scorned? Not at all, Catullus answered, but it seems like Caesar wanted to comment on this particular point. I'd certainly be happy for him to make a comment, whether to refute me or to ask me a question. Really, Antonius, Caesar then said, about your qualities as an orator, I have always maintained that you seem to be unequally protected when you were speaking, and that your most special distinction was that you never said anything that harmed the one on whose behalf you were pleading. And I recall that once, in a large gathering, I had a conversation about you with this very Crassus here. He praised your eloquence at great length, and I said that apart from your other distinctions, this was altogether the greatest, that you not only said what was called for, but also avoided saying what was uncalled for. I remember that he then answered me that your other qualities deserve the highest praise, but that only a wicked and treacherous man could say something that was unsuitable, and that harmed me, and that harmed the one on whose behalf he was pleading. He did not think, therefore, that someone who did not do so was automatically a skillful speaker, but that someone who did was a weak person. Now, if you don't mind, Antonius, I would like you to indicate why you, on the contrary, think that doing no harm in a case is so important that nothing, in your view, is actually more important in an orator. Alright, guys, so we just done with another part, and we're going to continue with reading the other one, but tomorrow. So thank you for joining me today in these reading sessions. See you tomorrow. Bye.